That's weird. It's showing my stream, but it's not showing my title or anything, so it just shows like it's blank. It's never done that before as I'm like watching it. But yeah, okay, so we'll use I kind of like the way this background actually complements these boxes. I don't think this is any sort of other effect that I'm using. Right? Like this wouldn't have anything to do with that. That's weird. Like, this looks so different than it normally does. Um but yeah, we drew the last one so I don't have to change this, and so let's just try to keep going. And of course, as much as I say, okay, this one we're actually losing though, correspondence, what a shame. And you could also try to take there, but not really. I've been playing this one kind of too fast and too lazily. Let's just go ahead, do another one, 10-minute game, and nothing else really to do. We're trying to get back to 17, but it's just shouldn't have been this big of a deal. Like I was basically there, and it's one thing, okay, I'm 1695 and I don't win that game. That's fine. But like it doesn't mean that you go down and you lose like sometimes you can just do this. Like you might say it's playing in their hands a little bit, but you can often just do it because I don't see what they can do. Going there, he's creating what seems like a bishop pair, but is it really going to be that good? Like, you can't even really effectively pin it. There's some sort of weird move. If the queen's here, then you go here, then you take it, and then you can't take because of that. Now, is there going to be a sack play like already? This is when sometimes you're like rushing the castle. Like, you don't have to castle that soon. Maybe you shouldn't when he's putting this much pressure early because you can tell he's playing like a clown aggressive style that is going to be very, just very irritating. But like, he's just going for it. He wants mate on, like, move 10 or some shit. He just doesn't give a shit. Now, this is good because you guarantee a trade. Now, this kind of move is my defined, style of play. He's attacking me aggressively. I'm playing defensively, even though he's black and I'm white, and probably, that should be different. But this will cut down his threat guaranteed because no matter what you do, right, you're going to give up the bad knight, objectively suboptimal knight for this. So now that's the best way to cut down on a threat because you're going to, or I mean, according to the engine, you're supposed to almost just, what would I do with the thing now? I'd be trying to, like put it here, put it here, put it there. That's my like V shape. Even though it doesn't acquiesce to the light square bishop, but I guess the white square bishop's on the other wrong side anyway. Gonna watch a double threat that he might pose. But no, like they kind of stopped short. They didn't have the balls or the guts to actually do it in terms of like they were trying to start aggressively, but then they couldn't. They didn't have the will to follow through all the way or something like that. Or clearly my brilliant fork move is what stopped them. But you can do this into a pin, which would even be good later. I almost want to make them think they have something here. And then, or even already, isn't this already kind of fucked up? Because what can you do? You could take there, but then you lose the queen. So like you're already kind of fucking up. But no, it would have been more subtle. Like let them castle and then what? The reason why that's okay because you're still getting the knight, and then even if you trade the queen, I don't really understand. Even if you trade the queen, I'm happy with it. You can't even castle for now, and so we still got that basically for free. And you're being a bit trade happy, which is good for me. I'm only +2. That maybe wasn't as good as it could have been. Okay, you want to save this. You also want to um I don't know. Here's where I get sort of maybe I try to be too inventive or I do too much. So basically, you don't have to do anything crazy here. You can just kind of play it safe. But I like the fact that we're stopping the castle there. That's just kind of an irritating move that we can just keep going back and forth about it all day. And so you can do it here, and then you can't push it out. But I don't know if I like this position really for the rook. It's just awkward. I wouldn't mind putting this there, but then there's maybe too many ways you can push the bishop itself out. So you got to figure out, I still want to trade more. And if I can do that, then this would be an okay opening. Or let's say you should just go for this then. So if you raise it once, it doesn't change anything. Gotta watch the light square, play around the light square. You're attacking this, which is actually kind of impossible now to save it, so that was kind of good. Let's see. Not like a huge deal, but it'll enable you to castle now, and it will give you a trade that's kind of decent. See, even that sort of clouds my judgment because, like, I want the trade, so I don't really care, right? Even if it's not, as long as it's not absolutely objectively terrible, right? I still want trades everywhere I can get them, and it gives me such a security net that I feel like I'm so much happier in those kind of moments. Especially when you're out of material, which I often am, but then I don't take the best advantage of it, but that's a separate issue, right? I'm not going to use the fact that, oh, I misuse my material advantage to say, oh, I shouldn't trade and I shouldn't play like that. But then again, the alternative way to look at it is the simple fact that you're trying to basically say that um you're trying to say that if you have a material advantage, maybe you should try to attack instead, as in don't just try to trade, try to actually use it to try to mate them, but it's often so incredibly difficult to do that that it's almost not even worth it. Their position's a little weird, but it's not that bad. So unless the knight really comes in clutch, we could still have some trouble. So this becomes a problem for you. Now you can do this, and the reason why is because if you take... Wait. If you take, I can take the rook, but it's not like... It's not like it really matters. I would take, you would take, I would take, you would still take. So it's not really even worth it. I'm thinking like more in the context as if you were double stacked, you could do that, I guess. Right? Because I'm gonna make a ballsy brazen move like this or something, but you could actually move it back and then try to do it. But it's gonna be too obvious now. That's the problem. Everything I do is always too obvious, so you just have to take more time to calculate. But I'm already doing that, like 4 minutes. But he's still gonna miss it somehow. Or even if you don't do that, like you're still getting kind of screwed here. There's no way that you can save that. So even here, you just get straight up forked. So it didn't happen exactly the way I thought, but I mean, obviously that's just a blatant mistake. If you take here, whatever, take. If you keep going, I don't really care. Okay, I like when they do that too. You could have dragged it out and been a little annoying, but it's like you're just resigning yourself to your fate. That I won't even take too much pride in that. Like that was a garbage game. He just played badly. Like who cares? It's like, it's not even instructive to me. It's just like I'll take it, but it doesn't matter that much. You go there, I can easily take. There's nothing you can do. You can try to take that. Yeah. Again, he just makes like generally like what was his first mistake? Just allowing the queen to get pinned by the knight, and you see what a liability the knight can be. But maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe there was something else he could have done, but I didn't really see it. It was a very simple play, and I was more so fixating on I hope you castle, so then I can just pin it like that. Which in that case, I guess you still could have done that, but then I could have done that as well. But I wasn't. Like you're already screwed. But that's not such a bad move, apparently, according to the like you're already up by, so it wasn't that move that actually did it, but you're supposed to go, what were you supposed to do? It was showing something with this. What happened? Or you're supposed to do it here. Like, what is this sequence of moves supposed to be? You go like this, you go like this. Like, pawn play is actually one of the most complicated things, which you'd be kind of surprised by because it's so unclear sometimes what you're trying to do. Like here, you're trying to fork, but then why can't you just move something? You attack one. What? Like, why not? Why can't you move it? What the fuck? It's giving up all kind of things like it's so bad, but you don't even know why it's so bad. That's like the naive innocence you can play with sometimes. Like, you won't fall for something because you don't even know it is something. It's just like you don't even care. So, okay, we'll do another one. For 1670, which is actually perfectly okay. Peter Shaw put the ice thing in his profile. See, like, what is his FIDE rating then? I think it's actually pretty good. Or is that, oh, premature ejaculation, I was going to say. You should be afraid of those players who have Tall as their idol. Because he was so aggressive and they're going to be doing all these crazy gambits and shit. Okay, you don't want to do that. You want to stop the pin from happening. And then if you can do that, then you can basically be comfortable here. Like, why doesn't even this work? Oh, it doesn't work. There's actually something weird that ends up happening here. Like, you go like this, but then it doesn't entirely work somehow. And the reason why is because you're gonna sack something or some dumb thing. You're covering here. I don't see why this wouldn't be a good move. You can't even check. My bishop is fine. This is covered. Like, how can you do all this? You'll do this. Uh, is that really what happens? I'll do this, then you'll do this, but then I can like pull it back or something. Even this I've seen so many times, but I still don't know whether this is really the right thing. So now you should be able to do this because you'll go here, but I'm attacking the queen, so you would think that should be better. Right, so you have to wait. Oh, god damn it. It's alright, but I just hate this sort of shit that people do. But what I have to just do is get better at punishing them for doing it because it's so dumb. Like, why are you playing like this in the fucking opening, man? Like, is that one pawn now going to be the difference in the game? I highly doubt it. Fuck you. Is that even a good aggressive thing to do either? It's like, oh, haha, we're trading pieces. But why would that even benefit you? Because it's so... You would want to keep those around, wouldn't you? Why would getting rid of my rook for 2 if you're attacking pieces be a good idea when you're white and when you're also, like... When you're white and when you're also... I'll do the same thing to you. When you're white and when you're also in a position where... Oh, there's the pawn right back. Fuck you. It just sort of triggers me how people... Oh, shit. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Or the fact that I'll have to give this up is itself kind of irritating, but... You know, you take the thing, but then he won't even have the gumption to do it. It'll double stack my pawns. It'll get rid of a bishop, but you still won't do it. What am I trying to do here? Get rid of this stupid thing. I'm not developing very well, but... Very easy to trap the knight, too. You know, it's easy to pin the knight, trap the knight, do all these kind of bully tactics on it. You go there, which shouldn't be that big of a deal, really. But my problem is that I'm in a position where you're able to, you don't want to let him get to the back rank necessarily. You also don't want him to do that. And so therefore you have to maybe stay away from the checks. If you go here, where can he go? He shouldn't be able to go anywhere, and he shouldn't even really be able to give a check. So that should be an acceptable move to make. Right, the rook can't come in at all. You go ahead, you do that, which I'm kind of happy with. What might be coming next is a double stack, which might be a little bit annoying. And the reason why it might be annoying is because of the simple fact that... But that's even a bad idea, because... Well, not only are you getting potentially past pawn, but you're also getting... You're also getting yourself in a position where you're able to... potentially have opened that. So I'm glad that he didn't actually do that. here you could just attack my thing. I don't have a very good clean position to move the king into, or I mean the rook into. But you would think I wouldn't want to trade my rook, right, at any cost. Like our material is even, but my rook becomes vastly more valuable. And the reason why it does is because that is the one piece that you'd actually be winning with. Like if you trade off your rook now, unless you're promoting a pawn, which may be very difficult to do, you're not actually going to be able to win the game, right? You're not going to mate with a knight and a bishop. You're not going to. I don't know. It just seems tough. So trading the rook should be a very bad thing to do. But then again, it'll be kind of simpler. You're dealing with one of his rooks. Like it is my nature to do it, but I don't think. I don't know. I'm even saying I shouldn't do it, and then I'm doing it. I'll put my faith in the knight, and you would think this is good for him. Not good as in he wins, but good as in what is my win condition now? I'm gonna have to do some elaborate pawn promotion that I have 6 minutes to try to figure out, but it's gonna be very, very difficult. Like I don't even remotely know how I would do it, and you should be happy with the draw at this point too. Like there's no reason this isn't a draw. I mean, it's unbelievable to me that he wouldn't take that. Like, what the fuck, man? I'm even questioning that. Oh, it's wait. Now you have to not get overly ambitious, but what you also have to do that this would undouble my shit. But I also not entirely sure. Like, they'll take. I'm giving him maybe too many open files when he has multiple rooks and I don't. So maybe that's not the right way to play it. But maybe my thought is to create like an octopus knight or something too. At some point I'm just doing things just to do them. Like there's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason to it. So he could go in either one of these now, but this one is kind of shut down. So what if I just leave it here and it's shut down by the fact that this is the octopus knight square. And so where the fuck are you going? How do I even get there? I love what a puzzle the knight can be as a piece. Like it's just unbelievable. How the fuck would I even get there, man? Even when you have something good, you just can't even do it, or in trying to do it, you'll fuck something else up. You have a kind of a useless check here. You can go maybe here, which is not a bad square to be at. Like, I don't know what it was doing behind. At least this is the same idea that you're covering that. But then it allows this to move, which, again, with the number of pieces you have, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but there's really no attack here that you can do, though. It's very, very basic. So what you can do is sit it here, which is kind of not the best. Because you are going to be able to do that, but I don't see how. Like, how are you even going to cover it with the rook when it's blocking? Instead of the octopus knight, we're getting an octopus bishop. And then we could get maybe another one over here or something. He's pushing that just to save it from there. Now this, I like keeping the rook here, but I don't know what the knight is doing. I must openly confess I have no fucking idea what it's doing. So here we're just going to make some random moves with it because I don't understand it as a piece. It's just too complicated for me to figure out, I guess. I'm just not smart enough. I love when people get so defensive of the knight too. Like it objectively is a shit piece and it doesn't make any fucking sense. At the high level, it's not as good as the bishop. At the low level, it's just unintuitive and dumb. Right? That doesn't mean that it's an excuse because everybody is subjected to its flawed nature, but I don't know why people defend it. I would never, never defend it. And then everybody's going to jump on the bandwagon when it's finally changed. Like, oh, of course they should change it because it's so flawed. But when I say it, oh, now people want to fight it. Like the same thing with Ding Liren. I'm calling him a choke artist before the World Championship last time. And then it's like, you. Now everybody's saying it. And it's like, oh, this is a big deal all of a sudden. This is a cute attacking idea. The problem is you would still have to double attack it. And the way that you would do that is by simply. That gave me a very good square to go to, though. Right now, this is truly an octopus knight blocking an open file. Nothing you can do about it. There is some weird interplay, though, between this, where if you take one, you may lose the other. Like, if you take, then take, But even in doing that, since you're giving up a rook, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But that was a very bad move because now you hover onto there, stopping the check. But this is beautiful because you get to, again, only thing I don't like is that this is, but as long as the rook covers one of them, and it's going to be hard to cover that one with it, you're still not going to win, though. This is the thing that, is maybe a very difficult realization, that you're not going to win the game. And the reason, oh, shit. I mean, normally you're not. Even then, I'm not entirely confident. I like that they're so nice as to resign, but you really shouldn't because I have no confidence even then. But whatever. It's just not. Then why is that not even a blunder? I'm always winning more than I realize. Why? That's the only move where I thought, oh, now I have a chance to win. What was so good before that? Like, what? Let's look at the sequence of moves. I don't get it. What are you doing here that's so good? The Octopus Knight obviously in itself is very good. I give you that. Posing maybe that threat. See, the good thing about these pawns is even as bad as they are, double stacked and by itself, the good thing is the fact that they're so hard to get to. Like, how is he really going to target them with the rook, right? So it's one of those weird moments of, okay, you're stopping the passed pawn, he's just giving up a pawn. Like, I love moves like this. What is it? Like, let's say you don't do that. I want to see. You don't do that, so what is the alternative? Like, why is this bad? What am I doing that's so bad? You could just take it. You try to take this. Like, you are just going to start eating other pawns, which is weird because you have so many. You have two rooks to be able to deal with this, but whatever. Like, I'll take it, but people are just making sort of obvious mistakes, which, I mean, I'm not the only one who can do that, so it's only fair sometimes, but 1733 is okay. 929 games, perfectly fine. Just don't do anything crazy in the opening, and I'm kind of more comfortable with that, but obviously, or even that, I already fucked up by my standard because of how much the pin bothers me, so I'm playing like too fast. Or what'll happen even in a lot of the games that you lose is like sometimes there was some big opening, but you just were kind of, you had already given up because you're losing, or you're already resigning yourself to the fact that it's a draw or something, so you're not really looking or thinking for it. This in itself is bad. Right, it's bad because this, I don't even want to do it. It's gonna fuck something up. But like, I want to do it, but it's not gonna work because you're just gonna be whatever. In fact, if you reverse this, that could be something. Even as strange as what that seems. Right, because I don't know where I wanted to put the Darksphere Bishop anyway. Even if this doesn't work, it's still an acceptable thing to do because you get to potentially get the bishop pair there. Like, what do you really do to a move like that anyway? I guess you can just ignore it, but it discourages the castle or something. You can go back here. Right, to harass the knight, I would just take back. So that I cannot do, but it's more, again, just to discourage the castle in such a way. They would take, I would take, they would take, I would still take. I don't really need to be doing it. This move is a little bit strange, right, with respect to... Something bad is going to happen with this, I just know it. Right, because you're going to move that and then it's going to be pinned. Like, let me not even do it yet. Or sometimes this position is annoying if their knight's here and then the pawn comes, because normally you would put the pawn here, but then you can't because they would take, I would take, and then they would still take, and it's very hard to get anything to be in that spot. Now here you're pretty much obligated to take, but maybe I won't. Maybe I won't because you go like this opens the dark square bishop option. But wait a second, I can double take, can't I? It must be all part of his plan. They'd be able to take here, but they wouldn't even be able to take this. See, this is sometimes a tempting bait. This guy is actually... You'll do like this, this, or some shit. You would trade this off, then you can take this, but you can't do it yet. And so in doing that, isn't that still fine though? Like, why is that bad? It's still completely even. Like, I didn't win anything, but it's fine. This is okay. This is potentially going to open the queen, open the king. I mean, so that's the problem. But either I want to move it or I want to cover it with something, and I also want to um see if there's a good spot to actually move it. You could bring the bishop back, but I really don't want to do that. Like, doing this is fine. I don't know what the queen's gonna do for a while of consequence. So let's say she just move this. And the biggest thing here is you have the bishop pair, regardless of anything. The pawns don't entirely make sense with that now because they're all just. In fact, they did something really good here that I didn't even realize. Right? Imagine if this is their style of play master plan. They got rid of both of my center pawns, and they still have theirs. So, is that actually going to be the difference in the game? Like, that's actually supposed to be fucking. Like, if this is the high level that we're at now, right? I can accept it, but push it to here. Take doesn't really do anything, or actually it does. Maybe I don't know. What you got to do is you got to develop the. No, I love that matter of fact mindset that people have. In see, this is a pretty good ratio of games. If he's genuinely that, this guy's literally the next Vichy or some shit. Because that's not easy to do. If this is all he's played in his life, even that's still pretty impressive. Even if you study, even if you do shit, right? You don't know how much he's really played outside of that, but here you would almost have to take or something. I'm waiting for him to fuck up that, but he's just not going to do it. I like sitting on threats like that, but then it never ends up actually working out. Um, I don't really understand what to do with the pawns here. Like, it's all kind of fucked up. Like, my V shape doesn't work here because you have the bishop pair. You can do it, but I don't want to do it because they would take. I would take. Why not do something? No, I don't want to. Like, attack this and it'll create some shit. This is like a pivotal telltale sort of move, though. This is what a good attacking player would do something here. As white in a reasonable position, they haven't even castled, but I definitely am not very good at that. I don't know why I like this, but it'll fuck up the pawns, and this is a genuinely confusing pawn structure because you have potentially the thing, right? But you can't use it because I don't know. I better just not waste too much time. You can dance around a little bit with the thing. You might try to bring the queen there. Right, so that would be okay, but I just genuinely don't know what to do with it. Okay, now you finally castle, and maybe it's because I gave that up that you were able to do that. Fuck's sake. And what you can do now is try to do this. If you move it to there, okay, that's interesting. We'll go back to maybe here. Oh, maybe now we can create like an actual, but it's going to be so hard to maintain that. You blocked your own diagonal, first of all, dummy. But now you get this, maybe with this as the anchor. I'm just not happy with these pawns. The rest of the structure, everything in the game is fine. I'm not happy with the way this turned out. Maybe because neither of them are center pawns or maybe something else, but right, you just got to double check, just pay attention. Defer to the principles of my pink flamingo style that again before I ever formally gave it a name or anything, it just okay, dude. So there's got to be some crazy shit you can probably do here. I just don't know what it is, like sack something. I would take, they would take, I would take, they would wait, I could still do it though, couldn't I? The light square bishop has nothing to do with it. If you go to here, but then you won't be able to escape though. I would take, I would take, they would take, I would take, they can't take. So you could do that. The problem is I'll go here and then you'll go like this. And if you go like this, then I can still take though. If I go like this, now you take, but then I take, but then you take. So wait, what? I don't get it. I go here and you take this instead. So you're up one piece, I'm up one piece. I don't think that's actually right. I would take, you would take, I would take, you would take, I would take, you would still take. I think this is probably better. Even though it seems like, oh, you're attacking into the rook, so they're forced to deal with it, they're really not, because I don't think you'll get it in time. So they'll take both, like, I don't know. What you have here is the fact that you've loaded this up pretty hard, but it still doesn't create, like, necessarily a great threat. Imagine if you put it, like, here. Like, that looks kind of sick, but it doesn't necessarily do anything either. You almost just want to get the knight out of there, but here's where the knight becomes the ultimate fucking liability, because you're able to basically not get it out of there. So I assume to take would occur. So that's a sharp play that they're able to basically um the sharp play that they're basically able to do that, but maybe there's not that much you can do here, I'm not sure. Right, like let's stay a little bit on the aggressive, and there's something I could do to displace this, because then I could take this would be the point. You gotta watch the opening potential of that diagonal as well. I'm down to fucking 2 minutes though, so again, this is the difference in the game right here. But I'm not gonna say, oh, they gave me time odds, because they don't have to do that. Right, it's a part of time discipline, is a part of the whole skill in chess, especially as you get to higher ratings, everybody's gonna respect classical all the more. This is the spot that you dream to be in, but you just can't do it because this is pretty interesting. Let me actually do this as well. Like, so many things are seemingly cool about this, but I don't know how to fucking use it. I'm just too impatient when it comes to that. Like, oh, it's just like it's probably not good, but I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what to do with it otherwise. This looks so cute, but like, what is the mating final potential? You take onto there, I'll take onto here. That's fine. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what that even had to do with anything. Like, it looks cute, but obviously, I'm not happy about that. Like, I'm not even gonna take it. Like, I don't care. That's so fucking stupid, man. You try to do something, man. You try to do something and you just can't. That's so fucking stupid. I didn't have to do that. It's not like, oh, it's a time pressure thing. I didn't have to do anything. This game shows you why you don't attack. Like, I'm doing halfway right, but unless you do it exactly fucking perfect, what's the point? Don't even bother attacking ever. I don't understand, man. This could be a strong square, but I don't fucking know now. Doesn't even mean necessarily that they would win either. It just means that you'd basically be able to be in a position where, you know, you're able to Just keep giving spam checks, maybe you get some sort of dinky promotion out of it. The dream is if he was to go back there, I should be able to at least spam check. I don't see how you could really escape from this all the way. You go ahead, you take here. Keep blocking, I'll keep checking. I don't think you can escape this overall. Not saying I'll win because of it. In fact, I definitely won't win because there is no win condition because you fucking don't have time. It should. Uh, I mean, at least I got some of that pawn chip back, but it's like I'm completely not going to be able to play now just because of the time aspect. He's going to bring his rooks down or something, which is going to be bad for me, but there's only so much I can do. Like, no matter what happens now, I'm not going to win because that was at least a good recovery play, though. I don't know how that even happened exactly, but go to here, just spam check all the fucking way. Try to maybe even promote this pawn to the extent that you're able to, you know. Didn't that be like really fucking tight? Like, how do you. Probably isn't what you want to do either, just because of the simple fact that now your pieces are so cut down. Your pieces are so cut down that you're not even going to be able to do anything. Right, so you got to protect that, and in the act of doing that, it'll buy me a turn, and we're very close to promoting. I kind of, even if I do it, even if I promote, I still don't think I can do it. Does this even do anything for me? Because it was sort of like a shot in the dark play anyway. You would think I could have gotten a draw just by spam checking there maybe somehow, but try to pre-move all the way. This is what's just not even fun about it though, because I guess I could have taken that. If you, you know, you go here, you'll get another pass pawn out of it, so it's okay. One pass pawn for another. You are double attacking this if you move the thing, so I can just let you have it maybe. I don't want to get in the spot where I'm getting spam checked though too. But I am picking up a lot of his pawns, so this is at least kind of a little cute. You're going to give a whole bunch of checks and I'm going to be fucked. Try to double attack that. Keep giving crazy checks. Check there, I take that. You can take with that, I don't really care. You have a couple pawns here, you're not going to actually be able to do anything with them. That's too bad. I mean, that really should be a draw. Like, you can have it, but... Okay. What? You could just afford, you know, to sack at this point, too. With respect to the simple fact that... You know, you can sack the fucking bishop for it, too. There's only going to be so much you can do with that. Oh, but how? How does what happened? I don't get it. Oh, I guess I didn't give the check. I thought I was gonna give a check and I didn't. At least you got a mate rather than flag me. That's something. Yeah, I mean you can just have it. You know, you're faster. This is what's important right now. Just fucking. I never enjoy flagging people. Like even if I win like that, it's not. This is where the internet chess is ruined. Like this is not a real thing. That not saying people don't lose on time. Normally, why can you do this even already? Like, why? Why can't you just... What? Oh, I'm underestimating my diagonal there, of course. See, I created even a better attacking position than what I thought, but... I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, so I guess I shouldn't try to attack, like... and it still ended up working out pretty well. Like, what happens here that's so decisive? You're not probably supposed to trade. It's even a blunder to trade. So you're supposed to wait and then do what? Move the king. Like, yes, of course. Just fucking stupid game. Now you would win this, but you're just going to spam check and try to seemingly bait for a threefold repetition, but yet you're not. So I'm very confused about that whole prospect. And so therefore you win that. If you look at the time I had there, though, I can't really feel too sure about it. Like, maybe I'll do one more. But no, this should be almost one of those sessions that I do until, like, I don't know what to say. Like, I shouldn't have attacked then, and it would have been fine, right? Like, it's my own willingness to attack there. It just isn't. This seems kind of cute, like you're connecting all the pawns together. You try to go there. Now, this is fascinating. You're winning. Wait, what? Oh, no, I was going to say, if you trade that, you're winning, but you only have the pawns left. But he just gives it up. Now, explain to me how that makes any sense. You go, oh, it's actually a mate. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that, dude? So you're trying to tell me, no matter what you do, couldn't you, like, do this, though? Because no, it's too late, though. Wow. So he just has to give that up, and that's amazing. I mean, this is what I mean. Even with this circumstance, it's such a specific position, though. Like, you're not really even down material, but it's even, and you wouldn't. I was gonna do that just to cover the pawn, you know, in a more basic sense. So then you might see that this. I'm really bad at actually seeing mates because I'm never thinking in that mindset. I just assume they're never there, and then I complain like, oh, how can it still not be made? But then when it is, I also miss it. But usually under time duress, but you still have to be a little better about it. Like, that's one of those that's like there for my taking. Like, I can do whatever I want with it. It's just I just don't know how to do it. So is this really this is a forced mate sequence? Imagine that. Like, as much as I don't really study or analyze games, this is a learning moment in the game. How the fuck are you supposed to think like this? Like, sure, well, the move I'm making is nonsensical because I'm just panicking on time. But this is actually a forced mate. Like, at what point does it become that? As soon as you... That's not why I'm giving these checks either. He goes there, you give the check, you trade like I would normally do. And this is actually a forced mate sequence. That is fucking amazing. Or whatever. He has to give that up just to stop it. And then it's still a forced mate. Like, yeah, I totally knew what I was doing there, which... Whatever. Okay, I'll be on later. Okay, so today, without further delay, I should actually get to 1700 here. We've kind of dicked around with this a little bit too long, but I just want to get there. That'll be a good checkpoint. Then I can take a break and regress, just like I did in Classical. I stopped playing, and then when I came back, I was not fit to play it anymore. But then, at least I can play some variants, and I'll take a little break maybe. But the point is that, oh yeah, we're kind of late with Nightmares. Little reference from Pow every time he makes fun of that comment, right? What is it like? I'll become as famous as all the rest of them, and I'll be somebody wearing a hoodie not to be effed with on the board. Oh, there it is. Obligatory. I mentioned it, and there he is, dude. I should have it burned into my brain by now. How many times I've read it. I see myself continuing. This is like a good positive affirmation sort of thing. I see myself continuing my current career and playing in tournaments when I can eventually be as good as them all. Whether I'm famous for it or not, I'll be a cold-blooded killer. That's the goal. Hoodie on, not to be effed with on the board. Yeah, just wait till you see what Ace has to say. You know, he would talk a lot of shit too, but obviously he's 2400. I forget what his rating actually is now. He hasn't been in here in a couple days, but it's positive. It's just what my 10-year-old brother would say. I don't know how old he is either, but he went for a smoke break one time, so I'm assuming he's not anywhere near 10. And my title format today is like one of my friends' things that we always joke, and he always memes on them in YouTube comments. I don't know how to explain it even, but like, let me find one. I don't want to show his name even, but what's like his most famous one? Let me actually find it though. I'll show it. Just like his whole sort of meme template, fucking bullshit way of doing things, but he always gets a ridiculous amount of he always gets a ridiculous amount of upvotes, and I'm somebody who doesn't really understand the YouTube culture, even though I've started to upload more. It's something that's so dumb that revels in being dumb. And for my part, I would say he's almost doing it sarcastically, like making fun. He's doing it ironically, not because he actually thinks it's funny, but he thinks it's so dumb. But maybe that's just me projecting, and he actually does. Like, he uses the skull dead emoji a lot. What is the what is it called? It's like, it's a Hikaru short. Fuck, I won't be able to find it now. It's a Hikaru short that's like, Hikaru was different or something. At that age or something. Oh yeah, here it is. Hikaru was a different breed at 19, right? I won't show his name either. Somehow I'll block it out, but just, like, I'm in awe of, like, the style. It's so stupid, but it's just... Here, I'll even block it with my thing. Look at this, look at this. 25 fucking thousand. Oh shit, hang on. I'm not somebody who, you know, again, likes this kind of YouTube lowest common denominator culture, but this is what you get from it. If he's above 25, his chess career is only going downwards. Well, that's me for you in a nutshell, but we'll see about that. No one cared who I was until I put on the webcam, Naka, and I got 25,000 upvotes, which is a fucking lot. And the video is like some kind of, just showing Hikaru be like savage. I guess I can just watch the video. Alariza at 19. Right, they're all being like sort of nice and respectful, and then Hikaru's a bit of a dick. Although Hans can be a bit of a dick too. He's just like kidding. So it's like a Bane joke. It's really a lot like me. I mean, we share sort of the same style at times, but I tend to try to avoid it. And so it's like, no one cared who I was until I put on the mask. No one cared who I was until I put on the webcam. It gets so fucking stupid. But that's literally, he's sort of rubbed off on me in a negative way. So that's just like this whole, even like this quote is like that. Or one of my favorite ones that I came up with was like, with all the Oppenheimer hype, I did that, I am become Vishy, destroyer of boards. Like whenever an Indian player does well, or whenever an Indian song comes on when I'm playing chess. I am become Vishy, destroyer of boards. Like, I am become death, destroyer of worlds. And of course that's from an Hindu scripture, so it kind of makes sense too. Like, that it would be an Indian player that you're talking about. I'm actually down here in a correspondence game, which is kind of unacceptable. I could just do an episode where I read through every single one of his comments, and a lot of them are stolen from me, because like I said, we both kind of think that way, but I'm not exactly proud of it. But this is the kind of dumb shit that people reward. Like, you could write a meticulously well thought out, research, carefully crafted comment, and it'll get like 5 likes. But then you do some dumb shit like that, and it gets 25k. Like Nico lol okay boomer. Like, let me actually compare that. Hold on. Compare Nico lol's okay boomer, which of course is like on TikTok, right? But compare the views on this to the actual okay boomer song, right? And if that one has more, then that's very sad because she didn't sing the song. Right. Oh, I guess that doesn't have as many as I thought. This one has 14 million views. This has... Oh, I guess one of these must have more. Okay, I guess I'm wrong, but still, at least the person who made the song. But there's not like one dedicated thing that has it, so it could actually be on... it could actually be on the fucking TikTok or somewhere that has... But that's what I mean. Like, you would reward this more than the actual song, even though the song itself is kind of dumb too, right? It's just the principle behind it. Like, okay, let's see what we do here. We could just... I don't know. This position is kind of weird. Correspondence games are unacceptable. Yeah, I don't really do them too much, but I mean, it kind of trivializes the whole way that the game works. You can't do that. I have no idea what I'm doing. See, I'm not really playing it like a correspondence game because of the simple fact that I just move super fast like that. Like, let's just actually focus and just do that. No. Fuck, I would have had to abort because I forgot that I lost the last game in a very frustrating manner. Where, as usual, I'm always winning and then I lose on time. Let me actually watch this clip. I'm actually curious. Yeah, as much as I keep doing this. what was it called? Like, I should start reacting to my own shit because I'm doing this to try to show off my thumbnails and stuff too, I guess. The Mechanical Turk, that was like the reverse engine, right? Like where a good chess player pretended to be a robot because at that time in history, wow, this engine, this robot can play chess. Whereas now it's the opposite. You'd be using an engine to be better than you actually are. But it's like boss uses a new mechanic, and it's like just the incredulous way that I say it or something like that. I can never find my own shit. Let me see. I don't like watching my own stuff, but let's see. So we've gone through all these just to show like all the each thumbnail I've gone through. I've lost at least one game to do it. So we're on this one. When they introduce a new mechanic after a dozen attempts, maybe because I got them to a certain low health threshold, but it's like I'm trying to remember what exactly it was. I don't know why all my videos seem laggy too. What is he doing? What is he doing? What is that? He's never done that before ever in his life. What the fuck is that? I'm just so shocked, I guess you could say, and he even uses like a electric. I guess you could say I'm shocked. I'm surprised I didn't make that joke actually. To see more insightful game analysis of game mechanics, like I'm literally shocked. What is he doing? What is he doing? What is that? Because like I'm so locked in. I think I still do it too. I beat him this attempt because I got them so low or whatever. But this was like the first boss that I played back. But yeah, I'd fought him for like fucking hours, and then he suddenly does that out of the blue, like. Where do you just come up with that shit out of your ass? Right, that's like his final form. So I was just so stunned by that. Okay, so we did the art, we do the board. And I clearly won't have to change it again because we're just going to win every game. And we are almost out of these too. Okay, let's chess pieces, ocean. Must be this one, I guess. Ocean, woody... Woody Ocean. Oh, fuck. So you get Woody, then you get Ocean, then you get Ocean Woody. Because that's another set, too. So many of these repeat all over the fucking place. Like, what's even the difference? I can't even tell. Like, it's a little darker, maybe. I don't like these ones that feel so similar, because it feels like it's trivializing the whole variety that we're getting from this. Yeah, I think this was the first boss that I fought on stream in my return, at least to Dark Souls 2. Because I'd beaten the Lost Sinner, so I think this was the next one. That was like the beginning of my Dark Souls 2 playthrough, you know, kind of, on this channel. And obviously, it's still ongoing because I didn't beat that stupid invisible boss. So we're not that far away from 17. We've made it all the way back from 1606. So it shows you that getting there wasn't a fluke at the very least. There's some play like this where you go here to stop this. And then you take, but then what the fuck does the knight still do? I guess it goes there. I don't understand, right? Usually people won't do that, but it's just annoying if they do, obviously. I'm very passive with my pawns at the beginning, and the reason why is because of the simple fact that even as white, I'm kind of passive with the pawns, which you shouldn't be. Right, that's the best way to define, like, oh, you're supposed to be aggressive. Oh my fucking god. What is going on, dude? You can go like this. He would take, I would take, he would take. You're always supposed to put the knights here, I feel like, but I don't understand sometimes how. Or like where they go after that. I feel like you want to do this, but you can't do it. That's the thing. You could pin this down, but it's not a big deal. Like, this development is just so ugly. Like, I don't like it. I don't like the way this looks, man. This is very aesthetically displeasing to me. I don't know. It's like really fucking hot today here, and I don't even have like an AC or anything, but if I don't use a fan either while streaming, because then it'll mess up the audio because my mic is so sensitive. So I actually just have to bear with it. Let's see. You go here, you bring the thing there, I guess. Like, I don't mind these pawn structures that I create, but they're kind of too slow because I do them sort of very deliberately. Like, yes, it's good, but you have to do it in a more organic way. Now, that's perfectly fine. And the reason why is because you'll go like this, and you'll somehow force him to deal with that. or something. Right, you're assuming it's not going to stay like that. And this is cute, like if the bishop moves, but there's no reason why the bishop would have to move. And even if it did, you might be able to do something with that. You have this cute little play here. And the reason why is because, I don't know, I just like it. Those are probably always my worst moves. I just do it without really adequately explaining. This is a very maximum level cuteness type of play that they could take. They're not posing a ton of threat here. What I want to do is this. Now, if they take, I could take back with the knight. And the reason why that's good is because now you open the diagonal at least a little bit. I don't care. It sort of opens the diagonal for you, I guess, a little bit. It opens this open file as well. And you can just go buck wild over here. You can just go buck wild. I would take, you would take, I would take, you would take. Never fear the person who's played this many games, because it means they fucking suck. With all due respect, you don't deserve respect. Even I shit all over myself because in this many games, you should have easily been further than this. I could do it with the queen too, but I don't really understand the implication of doing that. You go like this, you can't actually even take, so that's the whole beauty of it. And so therefore you get to try to do this, and so therefore it is an interesting dynamic that I've created here because of the simple fact that I would take, you would take, I would take, you would take, I would still take. Right, but the problem is because the knight is an inherently objectively flawed piece, you're going to get screwed over by this somehow because it's going to get stuck there, right? Somehow. It really shouldn't, though. Or wait a second, why not just do this? But then you'll bring in something else first, like... If I do this, I can preserve... I'll just do this, I don't care. Right, I realize the knight's tendency to fuck things up, so I just won't even give it a chance to do it. If you take, I take, and then you can't do anything, and then I could even unleash it if you leave the queen there. Or that in itself is interesting. Best new strategy is to play organic. Now that in itself is strange that... Wait, what happened? How is... Oh, I can't see it. I was going to say, how am I not up there? Now you have an unleash capability, and it's, oh my god, I'm so confused. If they take with the queen, I can take there. So they have to take with the pawn, but even if they take with the pawn, oh, this is fucked. This is fucked for them. If they take with the pawn, I take the queen. If they take with the, oh, but they'll double take. They'll double take. They'll take. They'll take. They'll take. Then they'll take. Then I don't fucking know what's going on. But yeah, you're kind of screwed because either take is a bad take. Because then I take or I take and check. It always seems like you have something good, but then it's not really that good. There's always an answer for it. But this should still be okay because I'm +4, +1. Now you can give a check here, and it's probably not too good, but... Or actually, it's very good. Why does this seem like an offensive fucking showcase kind of game? If you take, I take... No. I would take, you would take, but then I would take and you would still take. Well, at least his pawns are kind of fucked up, so that's a victory. Sort of a moral victory in itself. We have our rook deep in enemy territory, which itself is a good thing. And so therefore you have to consider the fact that, I don't know, you got to keep their rook out so the king maybe could come in here or something. You're covering that adequately, which is more than okay with me. I would take, you would take, I would take, you would still take. Now I get a little bit confused because it's hard to figure out what what you actually want to threaten here. You go like this. You're double threatening there, and you might not really be able to adequately deal with that. So we're threatening kind of too many things now at once. There's nothing you can do. Factually, objectively impossible to do anything about this. You can move the king away, but it doesn't help you. This is a free take. Dude, who do you think you're playing against after 38,000 games? Like, are you with that much experience in chess? You should know who I am, dude. Because I've been around this rating for so long. You should have probably played me before. So probably I played 10% of his games, because how many fucking people could there be on the site at this rating? You played 38,000 games, dude. I'm not being toxic. I'm just being real, dude. Elitism is a form of love that I believe in your potential, but you just don't. And you could say, oh, haha, he's like me. He's not trying to get better. But, I mean, you wouldn't need to be trying to get better to do that. I just don't get it. Is he a bot? Is this like a bot that's supposed to have a human... I don't know. What the fuck is that? What is his peak rating, I wonder? Maybe he's been like 2,000. Oh, shit. But that could be like some sort of provisional type shit. Or maybe not. That doesn't even make any sense, though. How do you tank that hard? You go from 19... I have no idea who this guy is, but... Bishop g5 threatened to pin bishop on c1. What was that? I love how people use notation like I actually know what that alien language means. Bishop g5. G5. What is g5? Must have been at some earlier stage, I guess. I don't know what. When would bishop g5 even have been a thing? Oh, like if I did it maybe here? Like instead of doing that, you do here. Or I don't know. That was a very sick moment, though, actually. Yeah, that was a very aggressive-minded game, but it sort of happened naturally where I wasn't trying to force it. It just... You know, that was a cool attack, because you're creating this where, you know, you pin that down, now you're kind of a little bit screwed, but it ends up not really working out, because what was the best move? It is the best move, but it's so underwhelming, isn't it? Like, he does that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm still winning, but it's not super clear exactly how. Or that's actually bad, then. I shouldn't have done that, because of the simple fact that you want that trade and they can avoid the trade by doing that, even if it wasn't the best thing, right? Like, I'm just naturally inclined to try to trade everything all the time.
It's always a good...
You know it's serious when I bring out fucking Symphony of the Night music of all things, but let me just always take a minute between games. I'm not even saying I'll get it right now, but at least if I go on a good streak. 9, yeah. And these are always inaccurate. I guarantee you I've gone on better streaks, but because either I play viewers, friends, which you might say, oh, that should count too, but I mean, you know, that can be a 2,000 player or something, or Nightmare just clowning me. But also, if you get a draw, it breaks the streak, which I think is really stupid. Right? You're not losing, so it's fine. Tell that to actual professional chess players, like, oh no, you drew, so that's a bad thing. Like, that's what you're doing the majority of the fucking time. But he's actually 17. I mean, I'm not afraid of 17s. I just kind of... Sometimes they will do amazing things. I can't even make fun of that too much, I guess. He's played, you know, only a little bit more than me. But actually, at least in this format alone, he's played kind of more, a lot more. A lot of mine is classical and stuff, too. And actually, that's kind of fitting. We're using a Dark Souls background. When I always compared some, you know, Castlevania games to Dark Souls, it was basically like the Lords of Shadows that we always deserved. Like, it's basically, you know, the 3D Castlevania that we always should have gotten and we never did. Because it has the same gothic vibe, same, you know, reputation for being difficult, some of the same subject matter, some of the same, you know, overall design, mechanics, itemization. A lot of things are very, very similar, actually. So this is an okay move to just take, but you don't have to, but you kind of want to. I mean, I can't turn down that idea. It's just maybe I'm fine with that, I guess. Because these pawns are all out of sorts now, right? I wouldn't mind trading that off either, although now it puts my knight in a weird spot where it might not even like be able to escape. That's the question. Sometimes I try to just do too much. Wait, what? Okay. I don't know what the fuck is going on. You do some kind of crazy unleash play. You got a good diagonal going there, but nothing is really happening. So we get it back, but I didn't like that whole sequence. Is this something you got to do to make yourself take these games seriously from the beginning? Or then I end up taking it too seriously in the opening and then I flag because I try to equalize the opening knowledge that they have that I obviously lack. I'm happy with the trading that did occur there. And the reason why I'm happy with it is because it's just kind of, you know, simple. You know, how hard could this position really be now? I wonder. Could be famous last words, but now this is going to be a little bit hard to develop because you got to go like this, at least that's my own. I love that this is a thing. Like, I've never, I don't know. Oh, no. You got to watch the stupid ass knight and where it can potentially go. And his whole scope of movement in this game is kind of limited. I'm not really too worried about it. It's just, I don't know if I should even do that. Like, what are you really gonna do with that? You'll double stack and I'll just cutely set up my pawns in the process. Gonna make some god level moves, so I better just be aware of it at least. You have this cute little diagonal going to, oh god. There's no real good follow-up play you can do here, but I'm still a little bit worried about it. But no, I have to make this aesthetic pawn move first. My OCD is compelling me. He's just not doing enough, though. I don't want to even do that, but... I don't see a path for the knight, that's the thing. This is a strong diagonal that I have here going with the bishop. But the problem is that I can't do anything else with it. Like, this is where I just love to trade the queen because I'm not the one putting the pressure on. But I love seeing that too when I have a record against them, whether I won or lost or draw. It's like, okay, this is fine too. You can try to take... You could create like basically a rudimentary double stack opportunity. You got to consider where the knight is actually going to go, and there's nowhere good really for it to go. You could even do some weird shit with the pawns overall, but maybe I'll do this first. Just don't wonder anything obvious. That's sometimes the secret in and of itself. Which I may have just done, but I didn't really do. They would take, I would take, it wouldn't really change anything drastic. I mean, I was even saying how I'd like to trade the queens. I mean, Try to keep pushing this all the way, and there's only so much you should be able to do about it, I guess. The rook controls the open file for them, but I don't think I care too much about it. They'll take, I'll take. There's no follow-up play. I'm very happy with that. Just go here, just go for it, and then you figure out something with this, I'm sure, is going to be good. Because where can you possibly go? You're borderline trapped as it is, right? That's the problem. You're borderline actually trapped. Because you, I guess you can go there, but... like, why can't I do this either? Because you'll raise it, and then I don't know if I can really guarantee the safety of this pawn. That's the problem. I don't know what it does, though, really. Like, it's gonna be too hard to cover it and shit, you know? The good pawn, you know, maybe you do it like this, and you just kind of have it secure. And, I don't know. Let's just bully this stupid-ass knight. How about that? Go back there, which is very irritating. But we're just gonna push the pawns all the way because I have no fear for my king, because this is the stage in the game where you just gotta go full aggressive. This is how you attack. Like, look at this. So now you're just gonna go all in. I don't care. It seems dumb. It probably is dumb. Like, how much more of a pawn push can you possibly do? And the problem is it still doesn't pose like a very adequate, meaningful threat. It's just kind of dumb. Right, you go here, they would take, I would take, they would take, they would take, I would take, they would take, I would take, they would still take. But now I'm still at a loss kind of for what this actually does. Because the knight is kind of boxed in there, but now my own pieces are getting a little bit just kind of useless. You can block a diagonal, but that's no longer the diagonal, I guess, that I'm even going for. At least I have some sort of plan with what I'm doing, but I just don't have much confidence in this. So they would take, I would take, they would take, I would take, they would take, I would still take. But then I'm giving up the rook to do it, or I mean the bishop to do it. Now that doesn't really change anything. What are they going to do, like double stack or something? Wait, what? Ah, yes, of course. Don't you know that basic attacking strategy that, oh, this passed pawn is fuck you, dude. It wasn't that bad for them, but then they make it worse just like that. Well, I'm gonna make it happen. Now we gotta figure out something with these dinky pawns, or maybe I don't really have to. Right, look how that knight is in just complete purgatory zone here. Nothing you can do to save this. You give a check. You give another one. Yeah, let's see the knight versus the thing difference. This is the difference in quality between the knight and the rook. Like, don't even try to make that fucking comparison, dude. You can take, well, I shouldn't get too careless here, but just don't let him get like a fork or something stupid. It's hard to try to even do the best moves here now because it's just so easy, but just don't fuck it up. Just, like, I want to keep it almost away from that thing, too. Bro. Just don't do it, bro. Just don't do it. Oh, fucking annoying, this guy, dude. It doesn't even matter. Like, do that first, and then do this, they take, then I promote. right? You're in check. You take, I promote, then you can't take. Yeah, nice fucking piece, dude. 10 out of 10. Don't you love the knight? Like, it's right in your fucking face and he can't do anything. Like, nothing will motivate me more than showing and proving the futility of the knight as a piece, but it does kind of most of the work for me. Like, if that was a bishop, you clearly would have been able to do something or whatever. It would have at least been better. But they played generally pretty well, and then they obviously made that one mistake there, but this pawn push is completely psychotic. Like, just... there's no theory that would tell you to do that. I'm just going nuts with it. But they didn't have to do that. Right, so let's see how it would have progressed. Like, you go here, they would take, I would take, they would take, I would still take. It seems good, but my definition of good is sometimes a little bit underwhelming. Yes, of course, move the king there for seemingly no reason at all. Okay. Maybe I just play the best when I'm mad. Like, I'm actually just, like, fed up of playing and I'm just kind of sick of it. Someone made Ocarina of Time roguelike and it's amazing. They never put the links in these, though. You can find the hack here. Oh, yeah, here we go. That's what I was looking for when I did the Ocarina of Time randomizer thing, because I was looking for, like, I'd rather do a hard mode or I'd rather do, like, a, you know, something else. But I couldn't figure out how to find anything, like, just where there's custom bosses, or maybe there just weren't that many then, or I just couldn't find them. Or sometimes there's a quality control issue with stuff like that. Like, there's just so much of this shit out there. And of course, Nintendo can be a little harsh with it, but was it good? Like, what is air fucking necessary to survive? Is the sky blue? Like, what the fuck are you saying? Is it any good, dude? Okay, what other songs do I have here? The Doom movie. What was that one movie that was first person, like Hardcore Henry? Right, how much did this actually make? This is like a whole thing where they're showing it in like first person the whole movie, which is a cool idea, but it was some sort of gimmick that, like, oh, you're trying to feel like you're in a video game, but then, you know, it wasn't exactly. I guess it's not a bad budget. $2 million, pretty impressive actually for the whatever gimmickry that they did with it. Or there's that game coming out soon that's like, why am I getting this as a suggested? Slipknot Psychosocial. What else do I want to listen to here? I have like a little document actually with all my song ideas, or like my playlist. Let me like. Yeah, sometimes it's a good thing to take breaks in between games so you don't get too tilted or overconfident or whatever happens. But no, that was what I was basically trying to do, and I couldn't find one. Like, either, again, it could think about all the layers of it. It could have custom bosses, custom enemies, things like that, or it could just change the values, like everything has more health, does more damage, or it could also change how some mechanics work to make it harder, or it could also just have custom, you know, content overall and things like that. There's so many amazing things you can do with like these older games, fan made things. The problem is some of them might get removed before you ever get to try them, which is very irritating. Especially if they're kind of obscure and not super well known. Like, that's sometimes all it takes for me to do. Like, that's what I'm all about, is doing hard modes, or, you know, permadeath is more broad, but with hard modes, like, all it is you just take the game, right, and its base mechanics. Like, take any of your favorite games and just say, okay, we're going to increase the health value of every enemy by 10 times and reduce the amount of damage you do and stuff like that. And that alone can make it so interesting, like with Paper Mario or whatever. Like, it's like a variant. Look at it like that. Like chess, just take chess and add 10 more squares to it all around, so it's an 18 by 18 or whatever the fuck. Like, you're still taking the base mechanics, you're not changing how the game works, but you are sort of expanding it into something else. Let's see, a lot of this is Phoenix Wright stuff, which maybe I don't feel like listening to that right now. I've done too much of that maybe over the years. That's my main staple, in fact. When I, oh yeah, speaking of Vichy, Destroyer of Worlds thing, we may as well do this then. There's this one, and then there's like the chase one that's like slightly different. Let me see. It's just a black screen. I know that by heart too. This one's kind of like more sophisticated and elegant. I just hate the voice in it. That I can never find a version without that stupid ass voice. 1747. 6,900 games. Okay, just about the average that we see on this site. To be as bad as me. Don't need to be intimidated, but we just need to be focused. They could take that, but they won't take it because the knight is just annoying and garbage and you wouldn't even want to bother. This is that annoying position where the knight fucks you over though, where you can't do that. And so therefore you get to... You get to maybe put it here instead, but you still don't really want to move that. So I'll just willfully do that ahead of time. And then we basically get to do this. They would take... Wait. They would take... I could still take back. I think they had something to potentially win the pawn there actually already. So they block off a dark sword diagonal, which I'm not even technically using that right now. And so the question becomes... Where do we put the knight? But no, I think I already lost a pawn on account of the liability that the knight can be. You can do this now because they would take, I would take, they would take, I would take. If they don't take, I just take. There's no super good way to cover it, maybe with the queen. But they would take, I would take, they would take, I would take. Queen comes into there. So what is the synergy here that you're gonna have though? I don't see it. Or you're trying to bring in the queen, but you really don't have a super good way of doing that anyway. Now you're at the mercy of the stupid ass knight. I double attack with the knight, which I can't capitalize on yet. But it's okay. You almost want to do it like this, but trying to see what their ideas are here, but they feel like they're still more on the defensive. I would take, you would take, I would take, you would still take. I mean, of course, they were attacking that, but I'm not really thinking about it that way. I'm thinking like, oh, I want to bring it here to attack that. It's not like you can't just do that either, but... They would take there, which is irritating. And the reason why it's irritating is the simple fact that... I mean, I won't turn down the trade, but... Which one will they take with, though, I wonder? They take with the bishop itself. I would take, they would take, I would take, they would still take. But this still doesn't solve the problem. Right, it's still not enough, and they're kind of overloading on there. But let me try to go here. I've been a little aggressive with the pawns these last couple games, but not necessarily doing a ton for me. Now, this kind of move you can't do. They would take, I would take, they would take, I would still take, but they would still take again. Right. They would take, I would take, they would take. So they move that away now. So I would take, they would take, I would take, they would take. But they would check. They would check. And so therefore the problem becomes that you're opening a dark sword diagonal check for them. Even though you're getting a rook and a pawn and a thing, it's a 6 for 6. But I don't know. I just don't know. That's the thing. It's a tough move because I don't know whether I should really be worried about that or not. I don't know where that pawn is really going for me either. This pawn is kind of the anchor that needs a bit of support. I don't know. These are both technically uncovered. It's just so hard to attack them that I don't think it would necessarily be an issue. So let's see what they do, but I'm giving them kind of too much initiative here now. That so far they've been playing defensively, but now the only danger with this is that the king is in line with it too. So just remember, these are both uncovered. I just don't see the way. Oh shit. But technically the double diagonal isn't even the concern there. Like, you're not going to, right, like you're not going to be able to mate because you have too much shit on there. We have this elevated pawn, but I'm not entirely sure what to do with it. There's still a lot of stuff on the board, so I wouldn't feel like it's really time to go fully aggressive either. If you go to there, they would take, well, first of all, I would take, they would take, I would take, they would take, I would take, they would take. Wait a second. I would take with the knight, they would take with the rook. I would take with the bishop, they would take with the queen. I would take with the queen, they would take with still the bishop. So it's still not going to necessarily be enough. That's the problem. Can I take advantage of the fact that they're attacking with the queen first? So like, I would take, they would take, I would take, they would take, I would still take. It's still not mathematically enough though. Something is missing here. I could try to open an attack here, I just don't know, man. I just don't know. It is always better to attack, I guess, in that sense, because then you're less worried about their threats because you're posing your own, so it kind of, again, it's the best defense because they're not going to be trying to attack you like crazy, but it either creates a big opening or I get so disappointed and dejected after an attack fails that it can fuck you over that way too. But we're in a solid position. This feels like actually a pretty high level game. Like, we're both playing very patient, very just solid. Not exactly sure. I would take, they would take. I'm not sure what that does actually. You can do this and it would be fine. And the reason why it'd be fine is because it's still not enough though. That's the thing. It's still not enough. I would take, they would take, I would, go to here, I could still take. If I take, you take, I feel like I don't want to do that. Then you'll go here, then you'll go here, for example. But I could still take, I could still double take. I would take, you would take, and then what would you do though? You're gonna start to attack on the other side maybe. I'm gonna take the pawn, then they'll take back with the rook, then I'll take, then they'll take, then I'll take, then they'll take. Wouldn't that still be fine? But I can't figure this position out. I go here, you would take, I would take, you would take, I can't take. Fucking, I don't know.
Yes, who is it? Don.
I don't want to do it, but I don't know. You can do this, setting up for unleash. You could also do this. And the reason why you could do it now, no, it's the same shit as before. So much effort for one pawn, dude. Why is it this difficult? Yeah, we know they're not covered, dude. Fuck off. Now, could we finally win it? I would take, they would take, I would take. Why does it still not work? Because the queen's in front, right? I take with knight, they take with bishop. I take with bishop, they take with queen. I take with queen, they take with rook. It's impossible. It's impossible to win a fucking pawn in the fucking game. You just can't do it. I give up. I can't even do it. Who cares? It's just a stupid fucking pawn. I don't know. I'm not gonna do it. Could open an attacking idea onto this side. Like, I just don't know, dude. I just don't know. You go to here, but then you can't bring in the queen to attack. And the reason why is because you attack onto there, which is kind of a cute idea. You kind of got bigger things to worry about here, though, don't you, dude? Like... Oh, I don't know. You're covering with both the queen and that. So now if you take, I take with the bishop. And then you take with the queen, but you won't take with the queen. That's the thing. You won't take with the queen. And the reason why you won't take with the queen is because you'll lose the queen, obviously. And so you can't take here either. You attack onto there, but what do you do to actually get rid of it? I don't know. Okay, just stay calm. I have very little time left. This has been a bit of a frustrating game. Either I get lazy here or now I get impatient, and the reason why is because it's so little time and we put in so much to get to this point, but it's still fucking impossible. I mean, they're a good player, clearly, but it's just, come on. They got this stupid ass knight. And the reason that, okay, dude, you just can't make anything fucking easy for me. Now I could double attack it, I guess, and then you can't really double cover it, so you just have to give it up. You're attacking there. I'm so confused. So fucking annoying, man. You're so fucking annoying. That potential is no longer even there. If I could just push out the knight, but I just can't do it, so I'm fucked. Oh my god. Oh man. That's just disgusting. I mean, I don't know what. I'm not gonna play anymore. Like, fuck you, man. Fuck you. Oh, fucking stupid. You can't beat me in a 10-minute game. It's fucking impossible to beat me. I'm not even gonna. I'm done with Rapid. I'm not gonna play it anymore. It's just fucking useless. It's a useless format for fucking clown shitheads on stream to show off, like me, except I'm not even good enough to show off. What the fuck is the point of that? Like, you can't beat me. It's impossible. And then what happens? What mechanic fucking happens every 100% of the time? I deserve a fucking stalemate for that. Like, fuck you. You're fucking garbage, man. You're fucking trash. Just become faster, man. Just become faster. I don't mind losing, but like, I'm not losing. That's the thing. I'm never actually losing the game. Yeah, he's even giving me that. Wait, that, oh shit, he actually gave me a draw too. But I don't deserve it either because I'm a fucking clown. Like, I just can't. That game just makes me want to quit the format at least. It's pointless. Like, there's no... You can just drag the game out long enough and I can never beat you because I'm too slow. Like, how is that instructive at all? I'm doing evidently the right things, probably, you know, decent stuff at least. So you play the game the right way and you get punished for it because, oh, haha, speed is fun, speed is instructive. Go here. I don't understand, man. Is it just that simple that you're gonna mate? Like, if you don't do that, what happens? You go there. Like, I knew there was something good, but is it really just that simple? You can just go there and that's it. Don't go there with the queen. Go there with the bishop. And the reason why is because it's so hard to push it out once it's there, right? Nothing can actually target it. And so, I mean, I have no excuses for that, but I'm just not happy about... Look at these poor attempts to make an attack. And they lead to me just giving up my queen. That is just very upsetting. Because really, what can you learn from that aside from just saying, okay, be faster? Like, I know I'm not fast, okay. Just do puzzles so you do, you know, you become faster. Again, just learn opening so it saves you some time. He did kind of give me the draw, but I didn't even want it, clearly. Out of a sense of honor, because he had plenty of time too, but he was probably sniping me and still losing at the same fucking time. But then also he feels bad at the end because he's actually cheating to beat me. But not only is he cheating to beat me, he's cheating, he's losing, and then he only wins because of the crutch of time, which is, again, it's a valid part of the game, but it's just not really that important right now. I'll do another one, but I'm not too happy about it. I mean, that just shows you, like, this is how you could do it forever. This is how you play 60,000 games, because you're playing the wrong format. Nobody should ever play Rapid. It's a garbage format. I don't care if you think you're fast and you're cute and you've done your little puzzles and you've studied openings. It's still a fucking garbage format. It's trash. Anything that isn't like literally correspondence or classical is just misrepresenting the game. Because again, you already don't know what you're doing, so how the fuck does that make sense that you would want time to be the factor too? So let me change my stupid ass background and stuff. I mean, it's fine, you know, it's totally fine. I can't... It's just the way that it happens. Like, go ahead and just beat me in a normal, you know, just a normal way. Not where it's not time. But then it's actually impossible. You can't do it. It's never happened. I've never lost a game that isn't on time, except to somebody who's like 500 rating higher or something like that. Or obviously if I like blunder my queen, but even then it's probably because of time. Chess is literally that game where you can say that. Like, if you just take your time, you're unbeatable, and you can draw everybody and beat everybody ever because it's a fucking stupid game. Okay, so this is the Maitha one, which was like... I can't remember exactly what this was called, but just basically me beating Maitha on a first playthrough on a dexterity-only character while tanking the poison. So it's kind of like a hitless run, but it's something beyond a hitless run. Not that it really is, but like... During the course of the boss fight, if I get hit once, I die. But not only if I get hit once, I die, but even by not getting hit, I'm still dying because there's poison all around the room, and so therefore I still have to keep healing. So it's a hilarious thing that even happens in the Smelter Demon too. Like, you can't get hit because your health is the base starting health, because I've only gotten dexterity, which means I'm going to get one shot. But not only can I not get hit by the boss, but even by not getting hit, I still have to keep healing every once in a while just to deal with the damage over time effect of the fire or of the poison. Right, that ends up happening around the room. So that's like a new meta for Dark Souls 2 that we had to deal with. It's like this damage over time shit. Those pieces, Woody. No, I'm genuinely not even. I mean, there's nothing I can say about it. It's just not. It's not the time format that I like. Like, I'll do it, but for now. But I don't like it. I don't want to do it. Again, if you beat me in classical and I'm, not taking my time, that's my fault. But that is just an invalid, uninstructive garbage format. It's just absolutely. Go play it when you're a super GM. Go become a super GM and then play Bullet all day on stream like fucking Hikaru or somebody and show off. But why are you doing it at this level? Like, how is that valuable? I don't get it. And I guess it's just maybe only a problem that I have because everybody else is so much faster. But again, I wouldn't have minded even a draw, but I deliberately turned it down just because I didn't deserve it, really. It is not difficult to mate me. It is impossible, like how Don says that line. Right, it's not difficult to catch Don. It's impossible. He has all these like kind of cool one-liners where he talks about himself in the third person. That's how you know he's the bad guy. And of course, it's a remake of Don from the 70s or whatever with Amitabh Bachchan from also Bollywood. As far as I know, it's a pretty original movie too. Like, I'm sure it took inspiration, but so many Bollywood movies copy Hollywood movies. That's why it's called Bollywood. But I think it was generally pretty original. Like, it's this big mob boss, and then he's, or criminal underlord, and he eventually is about to get caught and dies, and then he has a body double stand in for him to try to catch his whole group. Which is maybe spoilers, but I mean, it's like a 50-year-old movie, so what the fuck? So the knight is what I can't entirely figure out what I want to do, but evocation. What are you, a fucking mage from classic WoW like me, dude? Don't evoke evocation. Yeah, we're at full heals you with a glyph because that's how you know it's power creep, and now everybody can do everything when you used to be a squishy dumbass mage, right? Like, who at the very least couldn't do stuff like that. I remember that I was so excited about that though. Like, you're killing somebody in PvP and it's like, oh, normally you're just fucked, but now you get to full heal, advocate, and then you got your mana back and everything. It was a very game-changing thing. Imagine playing WoW in 2024. I mean, at least the current version. Which again, is probably not bad, but okay, I would take, they would take, I would take, they would still take. I'm more than okay with that. Like, you're just gonna have to deal with it. So do I do this one, or do I do, I would take, they would take, I would take, they would take, I would take, they would still take. So how would you put any more pressure on this? That's the thing. It seems virtually impossible. You could do it with this one, so like, I'm even fine with the closed structure. I just don't entirely get it. You should be able to do this, actually, because the reason why is that bishop... No, it can just go all kinds of other weird places. Sometimes my knight will end up, like, here. Like, I'll move the king and put it there, but I don't really get it. Like, you want to clear this out, but I don't understand how to do it. That's the thing. I don't want to tunnel vision on it too hard, either. It would take, I would take, I'm perfectly fine with that. Right, the slight square diagonal could be a little concerning, so maybe I didn't think that entirely through, but... You would need, like, another cover on there if you were going to do this. I would take, they would take, I would take, they would still take. It'll still come to the same point though, won't it? Like, you'll end up with a pawn there anyway. Or like this. Either you end up with a pawn or you end up with a trade, either of which I'm fine with. Right, they trade off their bishop. It's not a particularly noteworthy thing, but it's okay. So that's okay with me too. There's nothing they can really do with this position right away, so you have to figure out something else that you can do. Oh, so the knight comes into there, maybe attacking the queen. We could do this little cute play. I almost want to do this first.
डॉन का इंतजार तो 11 मुल्कों की पुलिस कर रही है, लेकिन एक बात समझ लो, डॉन को पकड़ना मुश्किल नहीं, नामुमकिन है.
That's good, but like, what is the meaningful follow-up play? Because what else can you threaten with that is what I don't get. Go here, I can take... That didn't work out actually exactly how I intended, because I thought something else would happen. I don't know, like I could bring the knight there and attack the queen. That's what I was trying to do. So they would take, I would take, they would take, I would still take. Like, it's still a valid thing to potentially do, but it's just baiting for trades. Maybe way too hard. I would take, they would take, I would still take. Like, it's just lazy play. Like, there's no special meaning to anything that I'm doing. I mean, I guess I got one pawn out of it at some point because I was able to do that. Like, I'm +1, we got it there, but other than that, it's not particularly noteworthy. Double stacked onto there, which doesn't actually do anything. The queen's covering there. We could just figure a way to try to trade, maybe. I kind of want to do this, but it might not bode especially well. Isn't this just like a stale position that's going to lead to basically... They go into there. I don't think it's the end of the world either still. We get the rarely seen triple stack. Now, maybe I resist the temptation to trade. And the reason why I do that is because what is it that they're actually doing? And the answer is I don't see what it is. If I take, they take, I just don't think I have anything to gain from it. Right, they're not really threatening anything in a meaningful way. Not at all. So I can try to threaten something myself. I might live to regret it, because then if I end up losing the game, but I just don't see how. You should have that much confidence at least that what is the move that they're making there that should bother me? You're gonna somehow trap my dumbass, but I don't see how. You gotta stay firm, stay disciplined. You could easily trade here, but I don't understand either still how. That makes sense because I mean, I guess you just could though, right? They don't have a choice. So they have the open file. Right, but this pawn structure actually doesn't look too bad. The problem is I can't really take the open file myself. So it might not have been a good thing to do, but oh well. It wouldn't even be a passed pawn. It would just be very basic. If we can get a threefold repetition, that would be fine. Like, that wasn't entirely the best idea because of the simple fact that it's not necessary. That's the thing with this whole thing. It's just not necessary what I'm doing. They would take, I would take.
डॉन का इंतजार तो 11 मुल्कों की पुलिस कर
You can't really do anything either. Like, you can't give a check.
करना मुश्किल ही नहीं नामुमकिन है
Or maybe you could have done, well, whatever. I didn't have to take it, even if you did that. You can't do anything with the king that way meaningfully either. But maybe I'll still do it. You can go like underneath, I guess. Try to trade and try to beat him in an end game here, where I have a difference of like merely one pawn. Which even this isn't too bad, because it's not like it's giving him a passed pawn, right? He doesn't have a passed pawn. As long as he can't cross through, right, that should have a certain value to it, but it's very hard to figure these positions out. Like, getting to this one should be very difficult for him. Right, so let's stall out for some time. You would think most of the moves he can make here are not very good. They would take, I would take. If they raise it, it's also okay. So now, you don't want to let him do that. Fuck. Don't tell me. This is actually gonna be bad. Why do I even bother, man? You should just go for draws every fucking time. Like, if I cross through, like, it shouldn't really be anything still, but yeah, this is an endgame that you should clearly study, which actually is not that unusual. Probably, maybe just the pawn structure wouldn't be exactly like this, but there's a lot of back and forth movement that's going to occur. And the reason why is because you'll go there, I'll go there, like, this is all it is. Now, you can't go to either of those, so what do you do? What do you do? You raise, I take, right, so it's guaranteed to draw. Advocate on that one, haha, advocate on that position. So fucking boring, dude. That's really what makes chess difficult. It's a boring game. It's just objectively boring. I don't even have to do it. That's the thing. Or I guess I kind of do, because whatever, it's fine. Now he's going to try to avoid the draw in some vain sense of honor, but it's not even going to happen. And the reason why it's not going to happen is because it's just the way the game works. Like, you just have to deal on that. To just take the fucking draw, but you won't do it, huh? Damn it. But it doesn't matter, because it's like, where are they going? Where is your king going, bro? There's nowhere to go. Fuck. Just take it. I hate it, but just take it. So boring, dude. So boring. It's not his fault, it's the game's fault. Like, that's just how the game works. We both played perfectly. 99 accuracy game. We padded it in the end game, haha, because grandmasters totally don't do that. That's not literally half their fucking life. And again, even if you want to disqualify that, oh, well, they blundered and you should punish the blunder, but it's like, even better players don't always punish every single blunder, but it's like an equalizing factor. Like, we're both evenly matched, so we might make some mistakes still. We're not perfect, but it's still going to be a draw because, you know, it's not going to be decisive. We're not going to always take advantage of everything. There was something for white here, which I don't know what it was. Really? Well, whatever, they didn't do it, but that was also my desire to try to avoid a threefold repetition too, even though I was sort of acknowledging the futility of trying to do anything else.
इंतजार तो 11 मुल्कों की पुलिस कर रही है
Just remember, I'm top 30% in the world on this website, so there's nothing you can really question about that. Like, clearly that's because the Botez sisters brag about being top 1 percentile or whatever. Like, oh yeah, wow, you play chess for years and the average person doesn't, so that's so impressive. Like, how about amongst other people who play and study as much as you? Oh, now it doesn't bode as well, right? It's not even like being a hater. It's just like, if you're gonna be good, then getting recognition. It's like, you're the worst among the best, meaning people who put in so much time. Like, even I put in way too much time, which evidently still isn't that much when you look at the average person who I play against, but I don't take any comfort in that. It's just like, you should be farther along. So I didn't lose, so I don't have to change the art. And I guess I almost did lose there, though, apparently. Let's see, what other music do we have? Original versus copied Bollywood songs. That's the one thing at least they shouldn't copy is songs, because they always break out into music videos. Oh shit, I'm gonna react to that. I'm actually not even gonna show it, but in fact I don't even want to look at it. Metro Prime 4 trailer, the fan base is at peace. Oh shit, this is actually for real. I almost thought it was just a fan made thing. Took them fucking long enough, bro. Holy shit. I remember when people were mad about the original Metroid Prime because they thought, oh, they're just copying Halo, or they're just trying to move into some other, hip genre of this first-person shooter, but they obviously did justice to it. In fact, I'm not even that big a fan of the 2D Metroids. Like, I respect them, and I didn't love them that much, but it's the old school ones, but I love the Metroid Prime series. But yeah, how long has it been? Like, it was 2007 when they did part 3, and it took them this long to come back to it. It's like with Luigi's Mansion. You didn't think they were even going to make a series of it, but then they made 3 parts, but they made the original in, like, 2001. Then they make part 2 in, like, 2011. Then they make part 3. Like, each one is, like, 10 years apart or something. I don't even know how they decide on that. Clearly, I became very tilted there, just on the basis of, speaking of Dark Souls 2, yeah, let's do that one. Even though that one might be a little too intense for chess. The Ruined Sentinel music, which plays in all kinds of other... Wait, what? Ruined Sentinels. Was this one I did on stream, or this one I did also before I started to do it on stream? I think that one was before, and so was The Lost Sinner. But I mean, it's not like beating Mytha and Smelter Demon wouldn't fit into that, but I wish... There's so many things I wish I would have saved my VODs off. And like, especially with the first game, like Calamite, people would find that super entertaining by today's stupid lowest common denominator standards, even though I didn't think much of it at the time, just like struggling to beat him for 7 hours when I nearly one-shot him on my first attempt. Let's just concentrate. We're still sort of stabilized. We lost the one. That's how much a loss should bother you, though, because, like, I mean, even draws bother me. But again, not because, oh, I feel like I should win. It's just because I feel like it's wasting everybody's time. But I guess that's the sole purpose of chess existing. It is very depressing. Like, you just realize, like, I wouldn't even care, like, oh, how good you are, oh, haha, you're not good enough, blah, blah, blah. I would just feel like, it's just not the game for me, because it's just fucking boring as hell. Like, I don't care. At some point, I just genuinely don't care. You could do a cute little thing like this. This is very cute. Maximum cuteness. Now, there may be some reactions they can do that are interesting, but it would be cool to see. So let's say they take there, but then it doesn't change the fact of that. So at least, more than likely, you're probably going to lose that pawn. That's the point. Right, like that's going to be very hard to stop from happening. The queen has to come in for this shit. I would take, you would take, I would take, you would take, I would, but you're not going to take. You're not going to take because... Oh, but you know, it could create the same sort of problem for my rook. I'll still do it. So if they take, I take, they take, I take. Or this was maybe a good threat that you could be potentially posing. All you have to do is like cover this. In fact, it might even be worth it to do this just so you don't have to worry about all the other implications that we have at work here. As awkward as this seems. Because you won't do it because the queen's in front. So in this case, it's not ladies first. You don't want ladies first in chess sometimes because it means the queen is more vulnerable. Now you move the bishop away, and you can actually take the bishop. And even if you double take this, I don't care because, you know, you'd be losing the queen in doing it. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. That is cute. That is very cute. Okay, we got to be careful. That's actually perfectly fine too, and we obviously could potentially take that. The light square bishop is a little bit lost here, that I don't know exactly what we could do with that. I don't really even want to do that, but I guess I will. You open up the rook's ability to attack into there, and so you get to castle here. You can try to bring the light square bishop into the game at some point. They would take, I would take. They would take, I would still take, so it's not like a big deal. Let's see, let's see. Oh, shit. Okay, boomer. Wait, why would you do that one, though? This was just kind of a miserable start for this guy. Yeah, can you just give me a couple easy ones in a row so I can get this shit over with? Like, I'll get to 17 and then I'll just stop. I'll just literally stop playing like forever because I'm done with this fucking game, but let me at least go out on a high note. I don't give a shit. This next one, I won't even change the song. I'm just actually pissed. Like, I'm just mad. I don't like what I'm doing. I'm just doing it like for a certain reason, but that people wouldn't even understand because they kind of misrepresent what the game is actually about. What would be a chess shark? Like somebody who's like you know, like a pool shark or somebody. You sort of take advantage of people in like those chess hustler type environments. Right, I'll bet you this and that, but I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to identify. Like, you know, you might just be good. So what? I don't, you know, why would I bet you if you're that confident? The Bota sisters weren't that confident. If you beat us, you get $100. Really, $100 fucking dollars for millionaires like you? You must not be very confident that you're that good. Like $100. You go to here, everything is perfectly fine with this position. You go back. I'm comfortable with here, the bishop pair, everything is good. And so if I go here, you take, not really a big deal. I just want to cancel, get it over with, everything's fine. You create that, which doesn't matter for now. You just gotta open this, you gotta... Dark Square Bishop isn't even relevant, so you don't even really have to worry about that. You go here, let's say. Look, I'm sure you're a very nice player, nice guy, but this isn't the time, dude. This isn't the time. Just get this shit over with. So now they got way too many knights on the case here. So let's just ignore this. If they take, I take. If they go here, I guess I can't do much about it, but I can try to still do that. Like, why am I doing this? Because I'm afraid of them taking, and then I want to maintain my structure. They got to make a decision with this eventually. I would take, you would take, I would take, you would take with way too many things up. I'm fine with that, and the reason why I'm fine is because you open what I was trying to open, and then this is still perfectly good because you can't do anything. Octopus Knight Square, they're established, but again, I struggle to come up with how to get to these positions ever, I must admit. Like, there's no clear way to do it. This pawn could be potentially weak. Okay, I don't mind even moving that anyway. This could be a little dangerous, but I'm not intending to really keep it there necessarily anyway. Or even this thumbnail is me like dying after I beat her, and then I die to the poison in celebration or whatever. And sometimes that'll happen in Dark Souls where you'll beat a boss but you'll die at the same time and it'll say victory achieved, but then it doesn't count, like those dogs or whatever it was. And then okay, this one's not gonna work for me. Okay, dude. So how do I even really stop that? I guess I can cover the knight too in the same breath that we're doing this. Like, I don't need to cover it there, but that means I could move the bishop, but it's not the bishop that I'm worried about. It's it's not the knight I'm worried about, it's the bishop itself. This is a good open thing that I have going, typically, but you go like this maybe. That's the whole reason why you move this pawn, right? Because you want to open that shit anyway. Yo, quiet, just wanted to pop in. Hey, how you been, man? Yeah. This seems good. If they go here, they can't fork. I'm back to my old ways, playing like almost too much chess these days. This I still can't move, so I would have to move the rook there, and then I could move it. And then we can try to double attack that, maybe triple attack it even, but you could still cover it pretty easily. Or I guess you can't, on account of the bishop itself. This is good because you're also attacking the queen, so it makes it very uncomfortable for you. But you're not really double attacking that at all. I'll still do it, but I'm not super impressed by it. You're forced to move the queen away in kind of an uncomfortable spot, probably, because you're kind of trapped between a lot of undesirable squares. So you just have to go back super far, and then I could just take this. I guess. You gotta always double check your work here where it's very uncertain. So if you take, I still can't take. I'd have to move this first. And I guess I lost my Octopus Knight position that I potentially had. Everything is still good. Yeah, people have one format and they just commit to it and they play it only in that, which for me would even be classical, but I guess I haven't, you know, I wouldn't, what the fuck? That is tough. It's a tough thing. Now you should get this one back. Right, they would take, I would still take, but I have to do it with this one, because if I don't, then they're going to take it with the queen potentially too. That still worked out, but it wasn't what I expected would happen at all. You're double attacking there, which is not a big deal. It'll be 6 for 6 at best. But of course, oh no, it's actually better than that. And you can't even move it, so that could be a little problematic for you. Could be very problematic. I underestimate my own threat sometimes that I pose. Come on, I'm so close yet again. 1684. So you go here, and what do you do? And the answer is you give a check. Or maybe it's sometimes better to do this, because then you hold the check. You hold the check, and then if you move like there to the dark square, nothing really happens. If you I'll just settle for doing, well, I guess this just makes more sense because you're holding it, so he kind of feels compelled to move the king. And the reason why is because you have no choice but to... Now, there must be something more you can do from this, right? Like, that can't be enough. If only my queen was, like, a little closer in there. Man, there's so many good things going there. It just doesn't... It's just not enough. If I move the queen, like, first of all, you can just take this, can't you? Like, why hasn't he been able to do that so far? We've had so much action going on. Damn it. You can just back it off, I guess. You're gonna win this pawn, potentially. Kind of annoying. You can go here, I guess, for now. If you move the knight, I get to do this. This is quite a convoluted position, actually. Let me see. Go back to here. You double attack it. You are also threatening there. They could take their first. Basically, I'm conceding this one a little bit. And I'm surprised that I'm doing that. I'm giving up a lot, but I guess there's something maybe good that will come out of it. So now you're double attacking, so you have to cover this, but you can't seem to really do it. That doesn't really change what's happening. Right, because you're not able to actually do anything with it, and the reason why is because you could just take... They take there, which is okay with me. Okay, this is still a little bit tricky. I do like this kind of connection that the bishop has to the pawn. I have to figure a way to I don't know, it just felt like my position was a lot better than what it actually is now. Or, wait a second. I'm going to be lazy and just end up doing this because I don't have any offensive imagination. But then you're going to end up taking their potential, right? But then I don't have a choice either because... Damn it. You're attacking the queen, so all I have to do is just... move it. Oh, no. You're still covering with that, so why am I even worried about it? I'm covering with the bishop itself. At least our time is pretty even. Everything else is pretty even, so I'm at least matching these 1700s somewhat, even though, you know, it's not easy, but it's not supposed to be easy. You give a check there, which I can easily take, so I don't see what the big deal with that is even. Can't give a check necessarily there either. You could cover this pawn even again too. Try to see what this really opens up for you. If you put the rook there, it doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, again, I would love to just keep fiending for trades. I wouldn't mind even taking this either. Right, like if they're gonna let me get away with doing this. It's just that knight that I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's gonna do. That would be kind of cute, but you can solve it just as simply as, you know, moving the queen itself. Or... problem is I can't pose the trade in the same way that I would like to do. And this could pose some problem maybe with the rook as well. Even giving a check to the king is itself bad, like allowing that check at all, but there's nothing I can really do about it. You give the check, I move, and then what is the follow-up play? I kind of thought that might happen, but... okay, they've certainly put on a good attack here. In fact, I'm fucked, aren't I? Maybe you can go like this, so then you're still covering it. In kind of a bizarre way, but... all because I tried to take a pawn, eh? This is my adequate punishment for that. Come on, dude. Don't do it to me like this. Now you see why I like trading, but it's not like I was in much of a winning position anyway. But even if I was, right, you're just not going to be able to ever finish it. You're going to get a draw in the best case or something stupid. So they get maybe like a pawn out of it, basically. You can go up to here and just cover this. Now, if you try to double attack something, it's not really going to work. So my position is still fine. That was a very dangerous spot. I'm not going to act like I knew exactly what was happening with that. You can't move this either because of the liability that the knight can be. And so therefore you get to do this. If you move the pawn, I take the knight. If you don't, I still double take here. You can't cover it with the knight, so again, exploit the weakest link all the time. You have the ability to also take there, but then it'll lead to, you know, I would take, you would take, I would take, something like that. What other boss did this music play with? I can't remember. Or maybe it's meant to and I just didn't fight that one yet. But I feel like I was spoiled on that in the title of some... It'll say like Ruined Sentinel and something else, but I only have seen the Ruined Sentinel. They reuse a lot of bosses in here, or maybe they just have too many in general. Which is kind of what the whole appeal of the game and the series is, but maybe they overdid it a little bit. I appreciate them burning so much clock here too. The whole beauty is even if you target one of my pawns, it's not going to actually do anything because of the simple fact that it's just not going to matter really. And now you have this little cute play that's like, oh, I'm going to cover 2, but then guess what? The game's over because the bishop is just better. The bishop is just objectively a better piece than the thing. Now maybe I didn't calculate it out exactly how long this would take, but it should be actually fine. Even if you take it, it's too late. Or I guess what's going to happen is you're going to sack it, but then I'm not going to necessarily be able to win because of it, but I'll still try it. Right, like doing this is not going to be as simple as you think. If you raise, I take, take, double take, but I can't even do that. That's the thing. Oh, God. But you can't do anything with that. So if you're good enough, you can figure it out. And I don't have to worry about my pieces. So the attrition move rule is eventually going to catch up with you, where I might be able to do it, but it's very, very difficult if I can. I should almost try to flag them because that's always a fun, instructive thing to do, huh? You can't do anything. Like, they're invincible, so I can just dance around the whole fucking board. Right, you can't do anything. But you could arguably still protect yours because look at how helpless you are, dude. You can't even go there, can't even go there. I don't know if they couldn't have just stayed there, though. Like, maybe not, but they didn't make me work as hard for it as potentially they had to. They're just going to have to keep moving away, so it's not going to be a stalemate. This is kind of sad, bro. Imagine losing a game like this. So fucking stupid. Like, I'm even mad, too. I'm mad for you, dude, but it can't be helped. Okay, now you just run it all the way up the board. So idiotic, man. The way that you win and lose games is so dumb. I don't know why I'm just sort of getting mad at that now, but I guess I assumed it would be something different, but it's only gotten worse in this regard. Let's just keep shrinking his space down like this, and then you basically go like here, and then you go down maybe once. Now you can still go between the two, and the light square bishop shouldn't fuck it up too much. Right, it's not really involved at all. Okay, that's not bad. 1690, so we'd have like basically a 2-game threshold here with which to do it. So are we going to go on another terrible losing streak as we do this? I shouldn't force it by playing too many, but then if you feel like you're in an okay rhythm or whatever is going on, right, you almost should do that because whatever. Let me see, what else do we got? Let's use one of my favorite songs ever, most listened to while playing chess or anything generally. Okay, let's do at least one more here. But then I could do 2 and potentially get there, but I don't know if I'll even have time. Water drinking ASMR game. Okay, stop the stupid pin from happening. Go ahead and bring out the light square bishop as well. And then at that stage, you're able to cover this. And then at this stage, you go ahead, you castle. You go here, you allow the bishop to escape. You could go here now. I kind of want to go here first. And then at that point, you know, go here, that's fine. Then go here. That's tempting, but I don't want to do it yet. And the reason why I don't want to do it yet is because I'd rather like pose this double attack. But then I'd have to go here first and then do it. Or even that doesn't bother me. Like, why would I hesitate to do that? That seems fine. I wanted to get rid of that one anyway. Now you're kind of compelling that. I'll still do it. Right? Because, like, what else am I going to do with the knight? Now here I can't really do that. And so the trade is also juicy to me. But I'm doing that mainly to set up for this. And so they would take, I would take, they would take, I would still take. You could either do this to try to clear out the diagonal, but I'm actually more a fan of doing this. We block their light square diagonal, and they also allow them to basically, whatever, just, you can attack onto there. You can't even block with the rook. This is, or with the bishop, so that's just kind of a cute move, but I can always go back to if I need to. If you go to here, you must realize something. And what you must realize is that they could easily just take. And so this is kind of good because you're also attacking the bishop itself. I just have to be careful not to move this now because I could fuck myself over. Or they kind of gave up the ghost for that too. I don't really want to give up the diagonal either though, so like... You can do it now, or you can even do this now. Right, and the reason why is because... Then you'll do something stupid, like you'll come back... It's still worth it, but like... What could I do to maintain this diagonal? They would go, I would take, they would take, I would take, they would still take. So maybe I'll do it, and then I'll do this. You could do almost something like this, because if you take, then I can take, right? Why shouldn't I be able to do that? I would take, you would block, then I would take. You unironically should be able to do this. Let me try to understand why you wouldn't be able to. If you do this, they would possibly ignore it. But then, if they block... I don't know. They can't take with the king, obviously. Now you could just trade this off and be content with what you have to gain there in a +2 advantage situation, which... Not entirely happy with it, but... Let me see what else I can do. Maybe I don't need to think like that yet. You can still do this. Right, so the queen is basically trapped for at least a trade opportunity because you're stuck in there with the king. At the very least, you would try to trade it then for the queen. But you may or may not actually be able to do that. Or you're just giving it up for that. I feel like you didn't have to even do that. There is no actual open file here still yet. You get to basically... I'm going to block my own diagonal escape out of there, so I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. They're going to double stack attack me here, but it's not going to matter a ton because I have enough collateral material here. And so my only question then becomes, what do I actually do here to convert this? And it could be more tricky than you might realize. Or I could do like even this. Right, this overextended structure. You can certainly go here. It's just like this is a passed pawn technically. It'll be something cheeky like they take there, I take, they take there, I take, and then they take. I don't even know. You should arguably be able to keep raising the pawns. But the reason why I can't do that is because you'll take there. So if I go here, you'll take there. I can't move my mouse like straight. What is happening? Okay. Just don't get impatient now. Okay, so if I raise it, you can't take it, and you also can't take this, right? This is what we actually have to do. You can't take anything, and so therefore you get to try to promote this with what we have here. They would take, I would take, but you would need another adequate cover onto here. And so what if I do like this, and then I switch the cover, but then you would take here. So let me think. Everything is adequately covered. If you create the double stack, it's going to potentially lose its meaning over time now. But now we'll go here. You may double stack onto there, but then I can raise it. If you don't, I can go to here. Okay, he'll take, I'll take, don't really care. They would take, I would take, but then the act of me taking would fuck me over there too. I can't actually do that either still. You can't even double stack. They would take, I would take, and everything is fine, and you have the passed pawn, which I already technically have, but they would take, I would take, everything is fine. Right, everything is actually fine. You gotta keep going with it, just keep raising. If you try to go there, I just take. Go to here, and then you can try to double attack it, but it's gonna be very, very difficult to do that. Now you could go here or you could go there. It's kind of hard to say actually which is better, but this is already good anchor covered pawn. Now you go to here, and if you take, then I still promote. So you put yourself in a very difficult position here. That you just have way too much material now. I'm not even doing this necessarily to BM, but you should basically be able to just do whatever you want now. Then I'm gonna get cocky and somehow fuck up, but realistically, there's just nothing you can do, dude. You go there, I take. Try to do something with that, try to push it past pawn. Try to... double stack again. Try to go there. If you go there, I take. And again, I'd still be willing to actually just trade that, as much as I'm lazy and trading down. Fuck. But I mean, you'll still have a rook, so how can you possibly, how can you possibly make this annoying? Like, I'm fine with it, bro. Just do what you want. It's just nothing. There's nothing you can do. You can waste my time, but there's nothing you can really do. That was... I traded down like 2 queens for 2 rooks. Just because of how obscene my advantage was, and because of how lazy I actually am too. But it worked out, but normally you should not play like that. It's definitely not a stalemate. Oh my god. Also not a stalemate. Do I make it 3? Do I try to sack again and make it 3? Oh my god. Are you serious, man? How is it not mate? Like, as long as you keep giving checks, you know it's not going to be a stalemate, but it's going to take fucking forever. Or you're going to lose to the 50 move roll. So fucking annoying. I mean, probably I'm doing this in a less efficient way than what you really should, but you should just be able to ride this all the way. I don't understand why this is so difficult. Or the king could fuck things up, but it really won't because it actually helped. It just made it happen quicker. Okay, so you can try for one more here, which I don't know really what to say, but let's just treat it like any other game and just do it really quickly. Hurry up, Stockfish. I don't want to feel like I'm doing it in a rush, but let's just do it. Come on, Stockfish, don't fucking waste my time now. I just like to have this in my database. Please, dude, please. Please. Yes, I get it. It's too advanced for you to figure out, so we'll just do it later then, I guess. Like, actually, I'll just load the next game while waiting for it. I don't care. Like, are you serious? Okay, good. I don't care. I just gotta concentrate all the way through. If it's a draw, I'm fine with that as well. To be the man, you gotta beat the man. Like, you gotta beat a 17 to get to 17, which is obviously what would happen here. That is actually okay, even though this diagonal might not be the best. That is a little bit annoying as well. You could bully around the knight, which I don't like. But somehow I just don't like this position for it. You raise this both. Okay, here we go, dude. Here we go. You don't even have like the right setup necessarily to do this, do you? Like, the queen comes in and does something, but I don't know what it is that it does. Like, you're really gonna go like this though. This is the style of play you're gonna fucking try to treat me with here. I just have to make sure I develop in a way that ends up being good because they're putting a certain amount of pressure. Can't actually raise this. I'm not really trying to take it though either. If they take there, this is a very important square to cover as well. You get that out of there, you can pin this down, which given the clown way he's playing, I cannot argue with the merits of doing that because, you know. Now you could take... Interesting maneuver. Very interesting maneuver. Now we can potentially double take onto there. I would take, you would take, at least you'd have to open the king in that manner. Or I guess you don't, which is kind of frustrating because I was kind of banking on that. I would take you. No. It's well, it is because you wouldn't. I would take. You would take. I would take. No, but then you could take with whatever you want. Maybe I should still just settle for it, but you're still holding on to this, so maybe you could do something more. But I'm getting greedy. Fuck. I guess I'll settle for it, but I'm not super happy about it. It wouldn't matter even if you did this because you're not adequately attacking it enough. Like, double attacking there is pinned. What you have to try to figure out is the simple fact that you can't really do anything with that. I'm going to more so try to stop the check. That's also kind of scary, but maybe I can try to do like this. Just going to try to degenerately bait for a trade, but it could kind of fuck up somehow. Of course, he's heavily incentivized not to trade, just because he's down by a certain amount. So he's being a little patient about it, which is annoying. Why shouldn't I be able to do this now? It's covered by there. I just want to give the rook a chance to come in, but I'm not too sure how. Or you're not covering it adequately anymore. But you wouldn't do it. It's like, oh, you're double attacking it, but you wouldn't even do it. Because he's just not gonna let me fucking trade, dude. I want to move the king. I kind of want to unpin something, but you can't do it like that. I don't really know. Because again, you're covered by the pawn, so the double attack no longer has as much meaning. What is it, though? What is it that you're doing right now? Let's see. You cover it with this, which I don't even really want to do either. I kind of like what this is doing, but we're going to end up getting like a threefold repetition just from this alone, which is incredibly irritating. But can I just please finally bring a rook in as the big question? And I don't know how to exactly do that. Oh my god. You go here, and then you basically get to, or you could even do like this. Stick around with the queen a little bit. You have the rook ready to come in. The other rook is kind of just sitting pretty, and there's no real way to do it, because anytime you try to move the king out of the way, it's just going to come back in the way, so there's nothing you can do. So that's okay with me for now. Let me try to trade and exchange the actual thing here with respect to the whatever, just trade that. Oh my god, this guy hates trades as much as I love them. Can't do that, obviously. Here we could like double stack and always try to do something. If they, you know, even go back. So we technically take the open file in a manner of speaking. And give a check there, that would be good. If you go there, I can also just double take. If you... Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. You're back to square one with that, and you keep doing it over and over, and you'll never stop doing it, and so it's okay with me, I guess. Right, he just loves that play that he's making, and it's fine. At least the rook is engaged to the extent that you're able to... You know, you could double take on there, it's still a worthy trade, and you could try to do something with this. At least whatever you do should open up maybe something else. I mean, you got to give him credit. You got to give him credit, just... It's okay. If you go here, what does this open up? It opens up the ability for you to actually just take the rook overall, but it still doesn't. It's just probably something bad could happen. They would take, I would take, they would take. If you raise this, at least it opens a light square, so we have potentially a path in that regard to do something. Make it as annoying as possible. I mean, you can't really say anything. To stay focused all the way, this is one of my biggest weaknesses with just... Wait, how though? How does that make sense? How? Only there... Oh no, there is something you can still do, even as... the act of moving the king would cause me to be in check, though. But where do you go with it? Like, if you go here... If I go like this, my own queen becomes trapped within my thing, so I don't want that necessarily to happen. If I go here, the problem is you'll move it and put me in check, and that could be very damaging, so I can't really do that even. You can go here. Oh, no, this will be good because they'll force a trade, but take. I'm going to regret keeping my queen in there. I'll go there. They would take. I would take. They would still take. Let me see what happens. It didn't work how I thought it would, which is a little disappointing, but it's okay. We'll just go back to where I was. I don't know. It's alright. Better to acknowledge a half-baked threat than to try to maybe do too much with it, I guess. So we'll go like this, maybe. And I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but they'll never let me trade. Like, I just can't. I can't create the triple stack either, and quite frankly, I can't move the king. So even if I do like this, you're putting yourself in a position. It's impressive. I mean, it's impressive what they've done here. You know, you don't get 1700 for nothing. I mean, it's a great game, you know, just amazing. I don't know what to tell you. Why can't I, like, go here, for example? But even if I did, it's like, so what? Like, it doesn't do anything. You still won't be able to move this. Like, what am I supposed to do? Move this all the way up the fucking board to try to get my rook out? Because I may be up +5, but I'm not using the +5 because I can't figure out how to use it. Right, so you go like here. That could be like a cute little fork, so we can go back to square one with this. Shouldn't really change anything else that's happening with the position. And it took me about an hour to actually engage the other rook, but that's okay with me. You could give a whole bunch of checks. You could certainly force the threefold repetition, which I'm kind of nearing in on that notion. I kind of want to do that now because, you know, this is what you're going to get. I mean, these are the opponents, and the style of play that you're going to get is just... You just have to deal with them. Just do whatever you want, man. Just do whatever you want. I'm sure you're having fun. I'm sure you're happy, smiling, laughing right now. What a great way to spend your time, huh? Just great. So fun. What did they do last time? Like, they went there, but then if I do it here, maybe, now that the pawns are gone, then that... It still wouldn't be mate, but what it would be is... They at least finally allowed me to trade there. Now maybe this passed pawn's going to be an issue, but technically the thing isn't even in there. Like, the thing isn't even in there with respect to the fact of the actual... Whatever, I don't even know what I'm saying. Just fucking hurry up. You go here, but that's actually bad, but I'll just do it anyway. Try to bring this rook out, which has been the biggest challenge probably of my chess life. I have not been able to bring this out. It's impossible. Just to be clear, it is literally impossible to bring out that fucking knight, or the rook. You try to attack all these, you try to cover maybe for that, you try to promote in this situation as well, and you can do that by... But you can try to double attack. This would be assuming where it's going. Okay, double attack. There might be only so much you can actually do with it here. And that knight was just sitting here the whole fucking game too. So whether you trade or not here is up to you. So we're going to see what happens with it. I would much prefer it if you did, but you won't because you're just that kind of guy, huh? You're just that kind of guy. That's the kind of guy you are. You've shown your character in this game. I just want you to realize you have shown the kind of person you are. That's okay, dude. That's okay. You can be that person. You can be that person in your life right now if that makes you happy. That's okay with me, dude. I'm not even bothered by it. Go ahead and do it, man. I got no problem. Doesn't bother me at all. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I could move the king probably somewhere. And if you do that, maybe I can engage the knight finally or something of the sort. We could maybe double cover it. Double cover, it's still covered. Double stack attack, it's fine as well. That bishop doesn't really have to move. Now we're going to try to keep moving this, but you're going to be annoying about it because that's just what you do. That's just the kind of person that you are, as we've established. is also covered by the bishop. So now maybe we don't have to worry quite as much about this. Right, like we don't even have to cover it at all because, well, we have to not block that, but you're never going to take such that you... Yeah. I mean, look, man. So I did what I had to do. This guy is a piece of shit. But, hey, I mean, you gotta be a piece of shit to play chess, so fuck it. Just... Trust me, I've been that guy too in plenty of games, but be as annoying as possible, but if you're committed... I'm done, dude. I'm done. You know, you can't fault them for doing it. Like, that's what you should do. But it really is my inability to take advantage of a winning position too that pisses me off, because obviously you should be able to do that. And now I'm officially been 17 in both classical and rapid, which is not a big deal, but what are you supposed to do? I don't get it. Here, here, there, but what is... Oh, you're just doing it to try to bait the trade as well. Okay, see you tomorrow.